Greetings and salutations, sports fans all across the wide, wonderful, and beautiful internet. Michael Shibley with you here for another round of Shibbles and Bits. We're doing another instant reaction as Netflix keeps rolling out these Untold sports documentaries. This time it's great. They are doing one on Caitlyn Jenner. I've got my notes here, so we're just going to kind of do this. I just finished watching it, so we're going to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed the last one, Malice at the Palace. Kind of going through that where they let the people who were the ones experiencing everything drive the story. So the last one with Malice at the Palace, they had everybody that was involved in that one. This time, it's really Caitlyn Jenner. Now, when we talk about Caitlyn Jenner, we're talking about when she was Bruce Jenner, winning the gold medal in the decathlon at the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal. And Caitlyn Jenner readily mentions that it was Bruce who won that. So again, if I bounce back and forth, I'm not doing it to dead name or anything like that. It's just Caitlyn recognizes that that was Bruce Jenner who won that Olympic gold medal. And one of the things they even talk about, and what Caitlyn brings up through all of this, is that as Bruce, she always thought he was an awkward kid, it was dyslexic, and just was never special really in anything that they could notice until Bruce noticed that they were good at sports. They were fast, they were athletic, and that was something that they realized they could be different and they could excel at. And he even thought he was different because, and again, Bruce Jenner was born in 1949, so in the late 50s, early 60s, when he was a preteen, he would even go, his parents would leave the house, and he would sneak into his mother's closet and put on dresses and put on lipstick and kind of get a thrill out of that. He felt comfortable doing that. But then you move over, and with the sports, he sees, this is a way I can fit in and do different things. And I think Untold did a really good job. And this is where Untold really excelled, I thought, with this episode of their series, is showing this athletic background. Because so many people that, I'm 38, there's people a lot younger than me that only know Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce from Keeping Up with the Kardashians and the transition to Caitlyn Jenner. They don't recognize that Jenner was such an amazing athlete, winning that decathlon. When Jenner, after a football easy for me to say, a football injury, ended his football career at the small college that they were at. If I look, it was Graceland College, some small college in Iowa, where he did meet his first wife, Christy. They ended up getting married out of college. He got involved in track and field. The coach there said, try the decathlon. Those of you who don't know, the decathlon is 10 events, takes place over 2 days at the Olympics. You've got everything from the 100-meter dash to the long jump, the pole vault, the high jump. It's all in there. And so you can't just specialize in one thing. You have to be almost that jack of all trades that they talk about. Because again, the point system, it's not based on where you finish in each event. It's based on time or how far you throw the discus, all those different things. It's calculated. That's how you get your points. So you can't do it where you can't just bulk up for the shot put, where then right after that you have to do the high jump. It's two different things that you got to use your body in different ways. It's incredible. Jim Thorpe, an amazing athlete in his own right, a great football player, won the first ever gold medal in the decathlon in the 1912 Olympics. I believe those were in Stockholm. And the presenter of the medals, I believe it was the King of Sweden. I'm completely off. In Stockholm, in Sweden at the time, said, "You are the world's greatest athlete." And Bruce realized that's what he wanted to be. So again, it shows this great transition of Bruce Jenner realizing his dream of becoming the world's greatest athlete. He did qualify for the 1972 Olympics in Munich, but he really wasn't ready, and he readily admits that. He came in 10th, which, hey, finishing the decathlon is brutal enough. Hats off to anybody who can do that. The 1972 winner was the Russian Mykola Avilov, and Jenner just admired the guy for what he was able to accomplish, and he decided to spend pretty much the next 4 years doing nothing but training. His wife helped him with a lot of it. They moved to San Jose, California in the 70s. They had a one-bedroom apartment right across from a track there in San Jose where he would train every day with his dog Bertha. Came with him to train during all that time. It was kind of adorable to see that. Jenner talks about digging a hole under the fence so Bertha could climb under the fence or crawl under the fence and help him train. Ended up getting a training partner. Vince Stryker really helped kind of push him and someone to work together. Because back then, again, you don't have a coach. This is pure amateur athletics, especially in America. You know, Avilov had the backing of the Russian government. They had all these sports schools for all the different people that came through the Russian system. In America, we didn't have that. And you didn't have, like you have today, with all these Olympic athletes getting endorsement deals. That was a thing that was non-existent back then. It was, so you were working on your own. I mean, Bruce Jenner was selling insurance. His wife at the time was a flight attendant. So it was not easy to do. Qualify for it. He's ready for these Olympics, but he says he's done after that because there's no way to capitalize on it. You're purely an amateur athlete at that point. So he took all this training to be the best in the world. And again, they take off, and he's wanting, his goal, as we turn the page, was he wanted to beat, not only win the gold medal, but he wanted to beat Avilov's world record. And again, scoring points in the decathlon, the world record at the time was 84.54. He wanted to break it. Again, you go through all the events. His worst event that he talked about and struggled with was the high jump. And one of the things, he was on his last attempt at the height that he had set for himself. And if you miss, you get a 0. You're done. And, I mean, if you get a 0 in any of these points, you're not going to contend for a medal. He got it. Clutch, went down, got it. Finished the day. He was third after the first day, but he talked about how all of his best events were on day 2. He got through the hurdles. There was a big thunderstorm the night before, so the track was really slippery. Some people in heats before his heat slipped and tripped over the hurdles and got really bad scores, which, again, not going to help you if you're wanting to win a gold medal. But he got through that, and then he just started blowing people away. The discus, the pole vault, the javelin, and then comes the 1,500 meter. He knows if he sets a mark and he goes, and he just decided to go all out in it and leave no doubt. He finished the race setting a new world record at the time in the decathlon of 8,618 points, rather. So congratulations to Bruce Jenner. But then he realizes, Avilov, by the way, getting the bronze in that one. So he did struggle down the stretch a little bit. But hey, still great athletes all around. Anybody who finishes the decathlon will always get a salute in my book. It's more of surviving it than anything else, really. 10 events in 2 days, not for the weak at heart. But then he realizes life after sports completely changed his outlook on things. I mean, he had all this media attention. He was on the Wheaties box, all these different commercials. It strained the relationship with his first wife. And they did have a son where Burt Jenner, who was, of course, completely different than anything. I don't know how much, I didn't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, so I don't know how much he was really associated with that clan after in 1991, Bruce Jenner married Kris Kardashian. So, but Bruce Jenner talked about struggling and even trying to transition in the late 80s and just wasn't able to go through with it and realized, hey, maybe try marriage again. So he married Kris Kardashian and became Kris Jenner, and all the kids got combined. And then years later, as the kids get older, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that big thing, you've got paparazzi everywhere. And then he talks about he's finally comfortable with who Caitlyn Jenner is. So it starts the transition, separates from Kris and becomes Caitlyn. And you see that transition, and Jenner talks about how comfortable they are. She's 71 years old now, and she's looking forward to all that, everything that comes in the future here is Caitlyn Jenner, talking about getting the Arthur Ashe Courage Award from the ESPYs with ESPN in 2015, which was an honor, trying to show that it's okay for people struggling with gender identity and having the courage to go out and make the transition. You can argue with the politics behind a lot of these decisions that Jenner has made in the last 5 years, though you can still see the athlete behind who Jenner really was. And that's what Untold excelled at, was a lot of the things that people, again, younger than myself, don't realize who Jenner really was as that gold medal winning athlete, taking America by storm and becoming a true American hero in the process. So Untold, again, another amazing episode. I can't wait to see what else they come out with. Check out, of course, my other episode talking about Malice at the Palace if you've missed that one. And of course, check out my channel, like and subscribe. We would love you forever for all of that. And of course, you can catch me streaming over on Twitch, also at Shibbles and Bits. So check that out as well. Until next time, love you guys. Too sweet. See you next time.